technical issues today. Apparently, my gimbal didn't want to work correctly, so I had to tie it up with fluorocarbon. And of course, that's the case because I told you guys I was going to catch a nice trout. And that's a pretty nice rainbow from this run. I'm going to move my butt on down here and put you all where I can catch a big brown. I don't know why the phone froze up. I'm in a place where I have decent service, but kind of hard to do this by myself this morning. Anyway, where you at, sis? Private Moore, how you doing today? Welcome. We're having kind of some technical issues with the phone and the gimbal. Apparently, the doggone live feed just quit, and I don't know why. I got pretty good service here. I got 4 bars, so I'm hoping it'll stay going here. I'm fishing for rainbows and brown trout in the Snake River in Idaho. So I'm just gonna have to set y'all up and show y'all what I'm doing here. In the description, I usually put what I'm using, but again, the live feed quit. So I just put us back live again. Like and subscribe, man. We do a lot of fishing. This is a live pointer. It's a 68 or 69 DD. I'll do a video on it and show y'all what I'm using because this lure right here slays the fish. It's all I throw. I did a video on how many baits I use, and I use basically 3 fish, three things in freshwater and 3 things in saltwater, and brackish water, 3 things, and they're all pretty much the same because if they're not hitting this, they're not hitting. But I'm going to turn you guys because this run right here, I'm not fly fishing today, Phil. I got my fly rod out, but I had both my shoulders replaced, one last year and one a couple months ago, so my muscle memory's messed up. But tonight when my wife gets here, I'll throw a fly rod and I'll go through what I use in here. I did catch this one nice rainbow already. I mean, it's not a bad fish. It's going to be lunch. I usually don't kill these things. The rainbows they want out of here. It's about a 12.5, 13-inch fish. It's not bad. So anyway, hey Jay, what are you doing? I was live and the feed quit, and I had the fly rod out, and I can't throw it. A rainbow is a rainbow trout. There's cutthroat, native Yellowstone cutthroat trout in here. There's I don't think we get that in England. No, but you got a bunch of salmon. And I've always wanted to go over to Scotland, England, that area, and fly fish. They do some awesome salmon fishing using spey rods. They're pretty cool. But anyway, that's going to be lunch or dinner tonight for Nancy. My wife wanted trout because that last big brown I caught last weekend I gave to the guys who came and pulled us out. Yep, loads of salmon. Phil, like and subscribe, man. Love to chat with you sometime. Jay, thanks for joining, man. Love you. Really good talking to you yesterday. A smooth hound, what is that? I think I know what that is. Anyway, I'm gonna set this fish down, and what I'm doing is I'm fishing a run right here. I'm gonna turn the camera so you can see the base of this run. Let me set this fish down. I'm fishing this because the base of this run, because the water level is at almost 4 foot. So the water's really ripping through here. And down at the base of this, oh, it's in the shark family. That's right. I think I knew that. They're pretty cool little fish too, and I think they get, how big do they get? Like 30 pounds or something? Anyway, so back down at the base of this, we're right about there. There's 4 deep holes. The deepest one's 40 foot. Only been fishing one time, Phil, we got to get you out. Yeah, around 30 pounds. That's what I thought, man. I've never gone over there. I fished Alaskan up there a lot. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Like and subscribe. I'm fishing for brown trout and rainbows. For those of you who just joined, if you back it up a little bit, you'll see the rainbow I caught this morning. It's going to be lunch or dinner, excuse me, for my wife. I did not put in the description. I had it in there, and then the live feed quit. So instead of messing around, I just went ahead and just went live again real quick. My gimbal's not working. I had to tie it up with fluorocarbon to try and get it to work. Where in the USA am I? I am in Idaho, in the northwest part of the country, on the Snake River near Idaho Falls. So if you go on a map and look up Idaho Falls, Idaho, you'll see the Snake River runs right through Idaho Falls. I'm below that about 15 miles. And it's really nice out here. Let me give you all a panoramic view real quick before I. So this run is not the main stretch of the river. And you can see this run behind me. Sorry about that run right there. Oxygen and the fish that come out of those deep holes, and they come up into that water at the end of that run. And then I caught that rainbow in that hole right there. I fly fished it for a minute, but I figured I better not tear my back up too much because we got a whole weekend of fishing here. So I'm going to get out here and catch y'all a fish. Again, this is one of the places that I have a lot of confidence in it. Thanks, Phil. I appreciate it, man. Like and subscribe. Love to chat with you. That's what's cool about this fishing channel. There's so many awesome people on here. If you go through and look at Holy Mackerel was on this morning. Scooter's out fishing. Travels with Travis. My sister's grandson corner. He is awesome. Him and I chatted. It's so strange that it goes right to the city. It does. We had a, hey, Silly Stanley. Yeah, I remember you. You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to trust you and make you. Jay's been moderating for me, but if I click on you, it ain't going to let me do it. This phone's been really weird, Silly, and I'll get back with you. I'll make you a moderator because I know Jay does an awesome job at it, but apparently if you get the little blue wrench next to it, it makes it easier to get into other channels. Again, I'm not super tech savvy with this. And like that, yeah, there it goes. There. How, did you do that or did I do that? It keeps popping up. Again, it's being really weird this morning. So let me try this. It ain't gonna let me. I just don't want to lose you guys. So anyway, look, how you doing this morning? Going fishing this weekend about 35 miles out on top of some shipwrecks. Where? Gulf of Mexico, Atlantic. Where are you at, Luke? Again, this phone's doing really stupid stuff. So if it goes dead again, I apologize. I'll mess with it. It's charged up. The gimbal's charged up. I don't know why it's being stupid. And we have kind of crappy service here. I'm down to like 1 bar and it just bounces around. Maybe I can move us a little bit. I'm going to put y'all right here. Let me catch a fish real quick. See if I can't pull a big old brown out of here. Atlantic. Yeah, that shipwreck fish is fun. There's some big grouper of stuff on those things. It's red snapper. And I'm from Vero Beach, Florida originally. So I used to do a lot of scuba diving and spear fishing, and I guided offshore fishing, but it was trolling. We'd tease up salmon with a fly rod. I'm going to get right on that point. Let's see if we can catch a fish. And again, if it goes dead, I apologize. The phone's been doing stupid stuff. But we'll be live again tonight. My wife's coming out. Let's see if we can't catch a rainbow right there. Nope. But I know there's a big brown out there. And then when I'm fishing in the current like this, I'll just let this bait. I'm not bouncing it off the bottom. I'm bouncing it just to move it back. And usually when I get to the there, nope, missed it. Usually there's rainbow. A lot of times you get a hit with one of those, and because I'm using braid, I'll pull the hook out of their mouth. They've got really weak mouths. That's why I'm surprised I got that one in. Anyway, but I caught a 28-inch brown here last year, right about there. I caught a 28-inch brown in here last fall, and then I hooked the biggest trout I've hooked in the river and fought it for about 10 minutes and lost it. And it was a big brown. I mean, a big one. It was one of those 30-plus inch ones. Because again, it's kind of shallow, and I'm gonna have to take this jacket off. It's getting hot in the sun. I have a weapon on because there's a lot of moose here. I've kind of disconglomerated this morning. My zipper broke. I mean, see, it's been one of those mornings. But I have a trout. I'm throwing a bigger bait, so when I don't catch a lot, I don't go through a lot of dinks to get to a bigger fish. There we go. Let's be nice. Small water charters, how you doing, brother? Hope you guys are doing well this morning. I figured you'd be out fishing, man. Freeze, I think it is. Again, it's hard for me to read. Hello, good morning. Leaving from around North Carolina. Yep, Outer Banks. I fished up there a few times. That's an awesome place. Yeah, let's see if we can get this. But microphone. Today is one of those days. Just one of those days. So I hope my mic's working. And at least you got a pretty view. I know it's just a run, but there we go. See if we can't catch a fish here. This is one of those places I have a lot of confidence in. I know there's fish in here. Jay, Nathan. Yeah, Nathan, good morning. Zad, good morning, man. Like and subscribe, you guys. Come hang out with us. Jay, I appreciate you coming back. Again, I'm having all kinds of camera troubles this morning. The gimbal's messed up. The camera keeps cutting off and doing weird stuff. But I do have one fish. We need one more brown. But yeah, the water's a little bit stained this morning. It's a little muddy. It's not bad. And that little bit of muddy water actually helps you out because your bait more realistic. They can't get as good a look at it when it's super clear, man. These trout, those big brown trout especially, aren't stupid. The first brown trout I ever caught was in Colorado. I didn't know what it was. And it was about 10 pounds, 9.5 pounds. I think I ended up getting it mounted. But I was crop dusted. I was a police officer. I took it to the PD. And Calvin Pavey, my sergeant, was an avid fly fisher, angler. And he had a fit. He's like, holy crap, that's a huge brown trout. And I'm like, hell, I didn't even know what it was. He's like, I'd mount that. That thing's huge. And I've actually caught bigger ones up here. But I try to do catch and release unless I catch them in the gill or something. But I'm just kind of bouncing this through that run. And you got to pick this apart. This is one of those places where people will come through here. And again, this isn't on the main stretch of the Snake. This is not in the main channel of the Snake River. This is a feeder channel that gets pretty low sometimes. But when the water gets up like it is right now, you could catch some big fish in here. There's also a lot of grass floating in the water because the water did come up. And a lot of times I'll just let the current take it and get it out there where that drop-off's at. I got a golden eagle sitting in the tree right there. I think she's looking at that trout thinking, I hope he leaves that. We leave, when we catch a carp, we'll leave it on the bank up here. And the eagles will just come eat it. Within a couple hours, it's gone. The bald eagles, there's a lot of bald eagles here, a lot of golden eagles. And the reason I'm armed, like I say, we've got moose here. There was a moose last year that attacked a guy while he was turkey hunting. And her name's Matilda. We found her. He ended up shooting her with a shotgun because she was beating the hell out of him. And he blinded her in her right eye. And she stayed at camp. She was hanging out in my camp. If y'all seen those pictures of those two calves that were hanging out in my camp, in the camp next to the tent. But anyway, she's not a happy camper. And I'd hate to have to kill one, but I also don't want to get stomped. There's a lot of deadfall and snags in this because the water came up. There's a tree that floated down the river there a minute ago and got hung up on the gravel bar up there. But I went to that other hole up in front of us because when I first started fishing this, I ran the boat through it. So I wanted to give it a little bit of time to settle down. Sometimes you run a boat through and it'll kick the fish up. They'll start feeding because you kicked up crawdads and stuff. But I found in this run, it's just better to wait a few minutes and let it settle down. But those fish, like I say, it's kind of warm today. The water temperature 70 degrees. I'm using a 7-foot Royal Select rod, bait casting rod with a 7.5 to 1 ratio Mega Jaws Cast King reel with 30-pound test braided line and a 15-pound test fluorocarbon leader. And I tie the fluorocarbon leader onto the braid using a double uni knot. And then I'm throwing a Ghost Minnow pattern live pointer. I know there's a fish in here. There's several fish in here. Come on, guys. You just got to slow it down because that current's ripping. On the main channel, it's running about 12 knots. And in here, right here, it's probably running about 12 too. It's coming through pretty good. But that cast was into like 6 inches of water. I'm just trying to get these deeper holes where those trout are sitting. I think you guys are still with me. Like I said, thanks for hanging out with me today. Like and subscribe. JW, thank you so much for the help. I'm going to have to, like I say, send you a gift card or something because you're an awesome dude, man. And Granny's Corner, my sister's channel, is pretty awesome channel. But Small Water Charters, go check them out. Holy Mackerel was on this morning for a little while. He's probably fishing now. We got a good community. And everybody's been real supportive because I'm not a tech savvy kind of guy when it comes to this YouTube stuff. I did this channel so that my kids, my grandkids, and my son could check out what I'm doing. Let's see if we can't get a fish right there. Come on. I know you guys are in here. When these brown trout hit this thing, they'll hit it like a freight train. And there's smallmouth, a lot of big smallmouth in this river, but they're not in this channel here. They stay out kind of in the main river where it's a little cooler. Like I say, tonight, this will probably be the spot to be in. Or where the main channel, where this cut comes out on the main channel, there's good fishing there too. And I haven't fished that here yet. Let's see if we can't get one out of here. Come on, fish. Operate. But I kind of accomplished my goal. I caught Nancy a trout for supper. Pretty morning. Air temperature is about 65 degrees. The low last night was only 59. I'm up in this isn't in the Rocky Mountains. This is on the eastern side, or excuse me, the western side of the Rockies. I mean, we're still considered in the Rockies because there's mountains to the west of us. But where I live in Grace is actually up in a valley in the Rocky Mountains of North America in Idaho. Come on, fish. And I don't know when the major is today. I didn't look at the sonar tables, but last weekend the trout were just kicking butt on hatches, mayfly and dun hatches that were happening right at dark. And last night there's still a little bit of a hatch going on. There's a mayfly right off the end of my rod, and then there's a dun right there. And there's some trout feeding up in front of me there, but they're rainbows. So if I got the fly rod out and put a dry fly on and fish that hole up there, I'll probably catch little dink rainbows. But I'd really like to get a big old brown out of here. Come on. I know you guys are here. And like I say, some people say, why don't you change baits if you're not getting a hit? And believe you me, this thing, I'm confident in it. It catches fish. And when they start hitting, they'll eat this thing. I actually got out here a little late this morning. I kind of like to hit it right at daybreak, but I had one of those nights last night. And Jay, I woke up with a toothache this morning of all things. It's like having so much fun with my teeth lately because I had the surgeries and I can't get they won't let you do dental work for 6 months after you have a hip replacement. So I can't get my teeth fixed until September, which I'm gonna have to wait till hunting season's over. Got grass on this thing, man. Ouch. I'm right on the top of a bar down there that I just have a feeling there's some trees on the bottom, which is a good thing because those trout will get in behind that so they can get out of the current and they'll just sit there waiting for something to come floating by and then they'll zip out and grab it. So I'm hoping we'll out and grab this. And again, more grass. Boy, it's going to be hot today. It's only 8 here in the Rocky Mountains, and it's already getting warm. We got one of those heat advisories here today too, sis, if you're on. My sister sent me a thing saying Florida's got heat advisories all day. We kind of got the same thing going on here. Swallows are out here feeding on this little hatch that's going on. It's not a really, the flies are hatching off the water. They're not, it's not a real crazy hatch, but it's going on. There goes a duck, a mallard duck. It's picking up a lot of grass. Yeah, I throw it in that run and then I just try to bounce that lure so it looks like an injured bait fish. And then as it comes out of the run, it's actually pretty much on the surface because this current's flowing pretty quick. So I need to slow it down a little bit and work it back in. Hopefully it'll get by one of those trout. Again, I caught that trout. Nobody was on because the doggone live feed had gone out. It was a pretty good trout, or it was a pretty good fight. But pretty day. That eagle's she's just sitting there checking me out. You waiting for me to catch a fish? I'm trying. Picked up grass. Actually, I picked up a stick. Stick. Like I said, with this water coming up, there's a lot of crap in the water. But it kind of helps the fishing because it'll knock off, as the water comes up, it knocks off a lot of grasshoppers and all kinds of bugs into the water. And like a grasshopper pattern on a fly rod would probably work pretty well too. But again, throwing that fly rod hurts my arms and back right now, so I'll throw it tonight. I've had some people ask about the fly fishing, and that was my claim to fame. I was really big in the fly fishing industry back in the 90s and was sponsored by Yamaha and Maverick boats and had a lot of fun with it. But I just can't throw a fly rod 14 hours a day like I used to. Yeah, it's slow, but we're fishing. That beats the hell out of just about. There's a trout right there, just came up right behind the boat. Little rainbow. Chuck it back there. See, maybe that little rainbow wants a. Oh, got a stick. I knew there was a snag there, but that's why I use braid. I can pull it off. There you go. Why didn't you do that while it was out there, man? So I could catch a fish. What the heck? Yeah, just kind of sore and tired this morning. Caught two pretty nice smallmouth last night. Lost a rainbow. No brown trout, of course, because that's what we're after. And I wasn't going to stay on too long this morning. I got to go put some game cams out for our hunt season. Backlash. That's what happens when you try and throw it hard. If you get it back into timing, it's like fly fishing. You get into timing instead of trying to throw it real hard. You can throw it a lot farther. So let's redo that. Timing. Nope. I need my real magic. That eagle, she's got faith in me. She's like, come on, Radar, catch a big old carp. Just gonna let some line out here so I can get this line kind of. There we go. That's better. I just hate to hook a big brown because I don't have much line left on this reel. For those of you guys stuck in the house today because of physical reasons or for whatever, I wish you guys could come out and go fishing, because especially you, Jay. That'd be a hoot. Slow morning. Got to kind of keep an eye out behind me here. Those moose like to cross back there. Last year I came down here and was fishing, and I looked to attack that guy because we could tell it was her because the side of her face is messed up. She healed up. She raised two beautiful calves. And like I say, we named her Matilda. She's cool boost. But anyway, she came out behind me there, and she was not happy that I was out here. So I had to move back towards the boat and was talking to her, and she settled down and brought her calves out, and they went ahead and crossed the river here. And like I say, they ended up at camp, and she hung out with us all year last year. I could go up to her in the boat about 20 yards from her. She didn't care. I didn't push her. I just hung out with her and talked to her. She'd walk through camp with her calves. She got to where she just didn't care because she knew we weren't a threat. And that guy that got attacked, he just happened to walk into her. He didn't antagonize. This is the cow moose. I don't worry about bears. There's not any bears down here anyway, but in Idaho, we've got, grizzly bears, all kinds of stuff. I'm not worried near as much about a bear as I am about a cow moose with calves, because they will tear you up. And they're not as big as the Alaska moose, but they're still a big critter. So when they decide they want to stomp you, you can't outrun them. You just got to kind of find a tree. But again, we're on the Snake River near Firth, Idaho. I'm fishing a cut that comes off the main river. And it's just not happening right here this morning. I did catch that rainbow, but I was kind of hoping to get a brown out of here. But they probably fed last night because they sure weren't eating right at dark. So probably at some point last night, the bite was on. And I'll run this river at night. Most people won't. Because I used to run in the dark in Florida all the time and all over. It's Colorado, so I don't mind running the river at night. But the only thing I'm worried about hitting is a moose, because you will not see a moose at night even with lights, because they're just hard to see, and they'll cross the river. And boy, I'd hate to hit a moose in the boat. That would be a freaking handful. It'd be me in the water, a boat that probably took off on me, and a pissed off moose. That sounds like a recipe for a trip to the ER. That's a here, hold your beer moment. Here, hold my beer. I'm gonna go out there and wrestle this moose. You know, I got another place we could go fish real quick. They're just not happening right here this morning. I got confidence in the spot. It's just with the water coming up, it kind of things. Like I said, I caught the one rainbow, but let's see who all's on here. Is that Jared? Gerald, how you doing this morning, man? Here for the story. Yeah, hopefully. What I'm gonna do, if you guys are cool with it, like and subscribe. Somebody say if you want to go for a boat ride, it'll take me a minute, but I'll put you guys in the boat and run down to the start of this thing. I don't want to pause it because I'll probably lose you all, but I just think if we move and go up to that other cut on the river channel, we'll probably do a lot better. So I'm going to put you on the boat and grab this fish. If you'll be patient with me, we'll get up there and catch a fish, because that main river is a lot cooler water, but it's flowing like crazy. I mean, that water is rushing through there. So I'm going to put you guys on the bow of the boat here. And I can idle up there. I don't have to run, because we'll be going with the current. So it'll be about a 5-minute boat ride. Let me grab my fish and my jacket. Getting old. I'm 61. My heart and my insides are in great shape. I just beat myself up bull riding and doing stupid things when I was younger. So I've had a lot of surgeries. We got one trout. One trout. And again, this is a rainbow. It's not a cutthroat. And Fish and Game, I used to work for Fish and Game. They want us to take these out of here because they compete with the native cutthroats. I appreciate y'all hanging out. All 24 of you. Thank you. Gerald trying to get ready to tell you about taking Toby Keith's boating or Pearl Jam. Yeah. I was a tour bus driver and a pilot for bands. So I've been out with everybody from Steven Tyler and Aerosmith to Ozzy Osbourne and all kinds of folks. And Toby Keith, good guy. He came. A lot of the bands liked it when I took them to my house because I'd take them for an airboat ride. And Pearl Jam, I'd bought a surfboard. My stomach ruptured. We were on tour in Canada, and we had a 10-day break. And so I had told them I'm going surfing, and I'd bought a new surfboard that I'd ordered from Australia. Went and picked a surfboard up, and we went to the harbor side in San Diego to eat lunch. And I sat down and took a sip of beer, took a bite of salad, and all of a sudden it felt bad. I knew I wasn't having a heart attack because as a pilot I get an EKG every 6 months. But We ended up at one of them 24-hour clinic things. And long story short, my stomach had ruptured. They ended up splitting me. I got a nice scar right there. They ended up splitting me wide open. And everybody in the damn, all the doctors and stuff, all they were worried about was getting an autograph from Pearl Jam. So I was like, I'm the one dying over here. I was laughing about it. It was funny, but hilarious. Who else we got in here? Is Granny with us? Anyway, I can't. The sun's at the wrong angle. Let's get going. I want to catch a fish. You guys don't want to hear me yak too much. Ugh. I'm going to go out to the cut of the main river. There's a bar there that I can pull up on. It kind of set. It's kind of the same setup as this. Only the water's a lot deeper out there. It's about 15 foot. And I might be able to fish out of the boat. I'll have to see. Because when I went by it this morning, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention. But I'm going to put this in the bottom of the boat. So for you guys who fly fish and you see a hatch going on, meaning there's a bunch of, there's a bunch of flies and moths and stuff coming off the water. You want to catch one. Like that's a miller. We call those millers. I don't know if y'all can see that, but anyway, if you find out what's hatching, you take and you get in your fly box and you find something that matches it. And that's called matching the hatch. So there's a miller. There's a miller. There you go. We're going to turn it loose. Let's take a quick boat ride. I hope everybody's having a good morning. I'm having a good morning because I'm fishing. We're going to whip a Yui, just take the current, let the current carry us down. It's real shallow right in front of me. So I need to kind of work this thing in a circle here. Hope everybody's having fun. I probably should have turned you around so you didn't have to watch me. Good for everybody to have their life jacket on. Man, so to the right, about 7 inches to me, it's about 5 foot. That's what I was trying to fish, was this drop off right here. But they're just not hitting in here right now. So let's go down to this other place. I'm in an 18-foot Go Devil surface drive boat. The surface drive, it's air cooled, so you can run it through mud, you can run it through grass, you can run it through rocks. And I set it up like my bass boat was set up. And these things are so efficient in getting into places most boats can't get into that they actually ban these boats from use in bass tournaments in the South. Because if we used to use my Go Devil to go figure out where to bass fish, and then we'd figure out how to get the bass boat in there. If we had to, we'd dig channels with shovels. We've done all kinds of stuff to get into places where we can catch big largemouth bass for the tournaments. But I might be able to set up in the boat. If I could drop the anchor and get off that main channel where I could cast back into that shallow water where it drops off into the deep water, we'll catch a fish down here. It's just, there's going to be probably people out here this afternoon because it's Friday. The weekends are getting crazy busy on this river, man. It used to be I'd come out here and you'd see, even just 5 years ago, you'd come out here and you'd see maybe 10 people floating the river, fishing. And last weekend, there were boats just all over the place. And y'all can't see it, but there's all kinds of crap in the water. There's logs. That'd make good firewood. There's a lot of logs in the water. Bad habit. I chew. Yeah, it looks good. We're going to catch a fish up here. Pretty morning. We do a lot of deer hunting down here, coyote hunting, turkey hunting, duck hunting. Snake River's full of critters, man. Beautiful country. We'll catch a smallmouth up here too. There's a hole here off the main channel that's full of smallmouth. They're not very big. I've never caught a big one here. I know that they're here. But as that run goes around off this channel, I'll show you when we get up here. As where the run runs off, it gets about 15 foot deep. Along the edge of the bank, there's a cut bank. And those smallmouth, the big ones, stay there. But there's always a couple snags in here too, so. And I don't have to get out and get in the run. I can just idle up to this. A lot of crap in the water, man. Lots of crap in the water. Yeah, this bar is not very big right now because the water's up. See, that wasn't too long of a drive. Don't want to step on my fish, and I don't want to knock the thing in the water. Let me get this anchor put out. Well, there's goose crap all over the bar where the geese have been up here all night. Hang on, I'll grab y'all and put you in a good spot. Then I'm gonna get this other rod, because this other rod has got, it's just straight braid, and I need to spray it because I fished with it last night. If y'all use braid or monofilament or anything, this Real Magic stuff is awesome. It's not cheap, but it keeps your line conditioned. And we also spray it on some of our frogs. It'll help the frog go through the, it helps the frog go through the, you just spray it on the line, and then you're just kind of get your reel to slick it up a little bit so it'll cast farther. One more sip of Coke, and there is no wild turkey in this morning because, well, it's morning. I've caught some big browns here, but they're hard to get in, and I'm going to show you why. If y'all can see that current's ripping through here because this is the main channel of the Snake River. So it's when you hook on big browns in this stuff, it's kind of hard to get them because it's all of them and they're fighting you, and it's a handful. It really is. Welcome everybody. 37 people. Oh, like and subscribe. We're having a pretty good morning. It's beautiful. I caught one nice trout that I'm gonna have for dinner tomorrow night for my, and we're gonna catch a big brown now. So I'm gonna have to wait out here a little bit. I'll put you guys in the right spot. I might have to turn you just a little. Y'all can see it, but to the left, if you see all that stuff in the water, there's an eddy right there, and there's a pretty deep hole right there. And so the fish will come up out of that deep hole into that run, and they're waiting for something to drift by like my bait. Let's see if we can catch fish. And again, trash all in the water. There's always trash out here. I pick up trash, and I don't know why people. That guy probably slipped. I'm gonna have to turn you guys a little bit because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to get out that far because the current's really ripping through there. And even though I think it's really funny for me to slip and bust my ass. Like and subscribe, you guys. We're gonna catch a big old fish here. If I catch a big brown, I think I need what? Let's get to 600 today. That'd be cool. So here we go. And a lot of times those smallmouth will stay right along the edge of this too. So we'll get sometimes get some swallies here. Like I said, the water's kind of muddy because of the water coming up. But we'll get one here. There's a fish. Just hit up there. I'm just kind of bouncing this loop and working it the current take it, but I'm keeping the line tight and I'm working it till it gets to the edge of this riff. Because what you want to do is pick this apart. Like to fish this correctly, I there all the way back down because those trout don't move a long ways to eat something. They'll find a spot that they've got out of the current, like a where the rock's got an indentation, or if there's a boulder or something, they'll get behind that so that they're not spending any energy to stay, in the. And then they come out and frap something. Down the edge of this thing. Again, it's been really hot, so the water temperature is about 70 degrees. Oh, there was a hit. Holy crap. Missed it. Good hit. Probably a small. Um, the water temperature 70 degrees. Trout like it around 55. They're cold water fish. So missed that fish. Let's see if we can get it because I don't think I got it. And that fish hit it when it came out of that current. So there's fish hanging along here. We just need to get one hooked. Come on, baby. You're in here. Wish you were here, guys. I mean, I know you're here, but get this line out here. On the edge of that thing, be a fish right here. I'm trying, working hard. See if we can't catch a small hole right here. So a lot of times you cast right there. So come on, fishy, fishy. It's a big old water heifer. That's what we need. It's a big old water heifer. I got one fish to clean. I don't want to get too far out of stuff because it's flowing. One hit here. Come on, we need another one. Need to hook up here. But I'm casting to where I'm getting right, kind of in the edge of that deep down there. There's a step in here, and it, like I say, this current comes across it and drops into that hole. And I know there's a bunch of rainbows in there. There's always a bunch of rainbows in there. But it's hard to get the bait down in this current. There's fish down river a little bit. And again, most of those are rainbows. And this bait I'm throwing is kind of big for them, for those little guys. But like I say, I'm bouncing and I'm trying to keep in that strike zone as long as I can. Um, it's about 3 foot deep in there, and this thing will get in the bottom in that. It's just I don't want to get it hung up on something because I know there's a tree or two in here. If I could find that tree and not lose the lure, I'd probably catch a fish off the back of it. Um, I used to travel all over the world, or excuse me, all over the United States doing sport shows, and I had a PowerPoint presentation that I did kind of on all this stuff, how you look for places to catch fish. Out here, it's the same thing. If you find those spots where those fish can sit without expending energy, you'll catch fish. And I got a spot like that right here. I just got to get into it. And with this water being up, I can usually safely wade out another 30 feet, 40 feet. But like I say, today it's ripping through here, and I don't want to get too wet. And I know my sister, slow more, try across this